Starts off by talking about last week's game and what you've seen on the tape since then.
Yeah, I mean, last week's game was obviously a disappointment. I think for everybody, it was we played a quality opponent. There's no question. We didn't bring our A game, and I think that one of the things to turn over the top team in the conference, you got to play your best game, and we don't feel we did that on a variety of levels. We had at times we allowed them to move the ball with relative ease. We had some chances to score that we didn't take advantage of, and also our special teams, which has been pretty good up until now, contributed to some points in bad field. So it was a kind of an across-the-board thing. I don't know whether we were too psyched up for it or what it was, but we dug ourselves a hole in the first half. Once again, coughing up 10 points in the last minute and a half of the first half. When you get scored on in the last minute or so of the first half is never a positive thing because you have to go into the locker room and sit on it, but to get scored twice is doubly disappointing. And this is a couple of times in a row that we've allowed that to happen. So we know what the formula is to be able to be in this one, and that's play better. And, I think the next time, should there be a next time, I think our guys now realize that they can compete with this team at this level, on that field, in that stadium. So the job now is to get ourselves ready, take care of our business between now and then, and prepare ourselves, to challenge them in the final. That doesn't mean looking past the challenges that arise every week. It just is that you've got long-term goals, short-term goals. We've been extremely focused on the matter at hand here, which is the University of Ottawa. They bring some unique challenges to the table, and you have to deal with them. So our guys have been hard at work dealing with the challenge for this week. We'll leave the long-term goals for another time.
What about the unknown, Sheahan? The unknown factor this week, given that Ottawa is supposed to be meddling with their offense, and just talk a bit about what kind of a problem that poses for you guys.
Well, I mean, the offense that they run is double wing. All right, it's a fairly traditional approach to moving the football. It does have answers for almost all of the scenarios that present themselves. It originated in the U.S. In the 4-down game. It's been adapted quite nicely by Coach Echeverry and his staff at the University of Ottawa. They've executed it not too bad. They haven't had the success in the wins column with it, so they probably are in transition, modifying, etc. But that's the offense they've run since day one in training camp. We suspect that we're going to see it either in whole or in part on the weekend, and then there's more than likely going to be, from what we've heard, some transitioning, perhaps on second and long. They'll come in and play a more traditional Canadian spread style offense. I mean, that shouldn't be too much of a shock to anybody. I'm sort of waiting for that to happen anyway. All offenses throughout the season, they kind of evolve, and you bring in new wrinkles each week. Abandoning the wing at this point would be a fairly radical shift in their thinking. And so we're getting ready to see a mixture of offensive pictures and be able to react to it.
Coach, talk about this has got to be a big bounce back week for you guys, and there's no reason to think that it won't be.
No, absolutely. I mean, sometimes, you can fall into the psychological abyss after a loss like that, the disappointment, but we've had a good week of practice. Our guys are more, there's a certain level of indignation, that followed last week's game, and I think they, there were a lot of players that did not bring their A game. So it's, you're right. We have to continue to improve as a team. We've got to, take advantage of scoring opportunities when they present themselves. We have to do a better job of eliminating big plays, and we have to shore up, our special team woes as they occurred last week. So, generally speaking, with each passing week, grow a little bit mentally tougher as a team, and become a little bit more exacting and play with poise under pressure. That level of competitive excellence that we're, searching for as we get to the end of the season in the elimination round.
How do you overcome the challenges of facing a winless team?
Well, I think, you know, you just take care of your own business, you know. I mean, we approach every game the same. You know, yeah, people are trying to, all the there are some well-used metaphors that have arisen there. We've got some very spirited journalists in Eastern Ontario. I mean, you know, beware the wounded dog, all the rest of it. It's this is a football team, okay? They do certain things. There's certain things they do well. There's certain things they haven't done well. When you can force them into second and long situations on first down, I mean, you're playing to your own advantage. They have a fairly athletic defense. There's more than enough challenges for our quarterback, receivers, offensive line to deal with. What you're going to see on defense is a lot of movement on the front. They're a little bit smaller but fairly quick, so they take great pains to create some confusion on the offensive line. And of course, when you do that, you can get caught making a big play or get caught getting burned. So it's just a matter of being disciplined, being very driven to achieve, and our motivation level has been high this week. I think most followers of Queen's football are very, very cognizant of the fact that in the last 20 years, we do not have a great record against the University of Ottawa. And some of the losses that we have suffered to the University of Ottawa have been painful. And so there's all kinds of reasons to want to play well this weekend. So we're very driven. We want to play well. We want to do a good job at home. This will be, you know, we've only got a couple of home games left. We want to make sure that, and we're going to go on a little bit of a road trip here after this one for 2 weeks. So we want the people, you know, come back against the University of Toronto wanting to see us again. So I think our guys are pretty psyched up to go and play well.
Mike?
I know in the past we've talked about each week just getting a little better. Last week, does that just halt that progression in its tracks? Or you mentioned you didn't play a bad game, it was just,
I think the first half of last week's game was, there were a couple of explosion plays that occurred. And I think, you know, when you talk about, you know, playing in the playoffs against anybody, this team in particular, but you know, you got to keep the explosion plays to a minimum, and then you have to sort of seize the moment. You know, when something bad does happen. If you remember the 09, you know, Yates Cup game here. I mean, I think at their second possession, Western came down and scored first, and we bounced right back within a minute and a half. Had the big play, tied the game, then took the lead, and then padded the lead, and they came back, etc. So. Championship football teams, or teams that are going to vie for the championship, have to be able to deal with adversity in the game, and you have to play at a high level with poise, even when you're behind. So we proved that we could do that this week. I thought our fourth quarter was excellent in all three facets of the game. We were excellent, not perfect, but very, very good. So we can get to that level of performance, and the critical thing is to get there earlier. But there is a point of self-actualization amongst individuals every team, and that is, you know, you have to realize that you're good enough, and then just go and play to your ability. And I think that's what this team is learning how to do.
were they PO'd at themselves?
Well, I think they were disappointed in their performance. You know, I think that, you know, obviously when they come out and go right down and score on us in the first series of the ball game, I mean, I don't think there was a letdown, but it was. You know, it was just something, oh, Jay, you know, here we go again kind of thing. The thing to do in those situations is to come roaring right back, okay, and make a game out of it right off the bat. And then we got mired. We had a little bit of trouble moving the ball, you know, early in the second quarter, got some bad field. Then they got a fake punt. You know how these things kind of stack up. When the momentum turns on you, and a confident team will take full advantage. And, you know, the one thing you have to say about McMaster is they're a very, very confident team. I mean, they've been there, been in all the big games, can come from behind. Good football teams learn to play well when the score is close. And they also learn to keep it close when it needs to be. So there's this various stages that a team has to go through before they're sort of battle ready to go on and play the big games that everybody wants to see. So that's what we're gearing for. And we are improving.
Pat, when you were preparing, when a team prepares for number one, like last week, how do you as a coach this week in practice, because there's obviously in any sport, there tends to be sometimes it can be a little bit of a letdown. You prepare for number one this week, you're playing an 0-4 team, so you can get into the heads of the players that maybe we don't have as tough a battle this week. How does the coach prevent against that kind of thing?
Well, I think that I'm hoping, and I think this is the case, that I don't think the players have observed any let-up amongst the coaching staff. There hasn't, in fact, I think that keeping the heat on the players and, demanding excellence, has been very much part of this week's preparation. Okay? The requirement to get better as a football team, supersedes the end results. We need to be able to look ourselves in the mirror Saturday at 5 o'clock and say we're a better team than we were at this point last week. And I believe that in working towards that, the wins, the losses, the points for, the points against, that takes care of itself, in the process. So the process of striving forward, demanding to be better, is all part of it. We've been able to get our running back over 100 yards, but last week we just got him over. And he was the only one, too. So we need to be able to run the ball better than we did. We had some miscues on the offensive line that have been pointed out. And it's the job of the offensive lineman to fix that and move forward. I think we had a couple of drops. Not too many, but we had a couple of times. We had a couple of errant throws. We had a couple of blown coverages. There was more than enough there that needed to be fixed. That going on vacation is not the theme of this week.
Can you elaborate on the O-line miscue? Since you got one of them right here.
Well, he'd be the first to tell you. We just had we had some miscalculations, certain things, and things that we should have done better. We weren't bad. I thought we played physical, but we had some miscues. We had some miscues, and those are things that moving forward. One of the things that you want to be by the end of the year is the best up front and the best on defense. Championship teams are usually, you say that about them at the end of the year, that they can run the football in those situations where you have to run it. We were stopped twice on 3rd and 1, 3rd and a yard. In our game where the defense has to give you a yard, and on one of them it was less than a yard. So that's always an insulting thing for the offensive line to have to sit on when they get stopped on 3rd and 1. That's a personal insult to those guys. And so I would like to think that's not going to happen this week.
And again, aren't they veteran enough to know when they've made a miscue or made a mistake?
Oh yeah, this wasn't, we didn't make a bunch of frivolous mistakes. We have a lot of bright guys who have a lot of pride, and they know. They absolutely know that, and they know enough about football to know when there's an accountability factor, that if the coach has confidence to go out there and put us out there on 3rd and 1 or call a certain play, it's because I believe they know what to do and that they'll execute it to the best of their ability. And even better than that, they'll do it well. They'll execute it well. So we had a few blunders. Okay, why blunders happen in sport is not a surprise. They happen because it's part of the human condition. In every walk of life, people make mistakes on a daily basis. So football players make mistakes also, all right? They get their eyes in the wrong spot. Perhaps the defender shoots the gap before you're ready to make contact. There's lots of, I thought he had that guy, I was going to get this guy. Or, to be fair to them too, sometimes the picture changes, Right at the last second, the picture, they shift, they move. So the picture isn't quite as clear. So now you get big bodies on the move, they have to make a decision on the move. And, that's a challenge. So, but that's the game. It's the same for everybody. We have to sort of roll with the punches, and at the end of the day, hope that, you know, the good ones outweigh the bad ones.
That's it? Coach, why don't you tell us about the players you brought with you today?
Well, two great guys. Blake Serio is a member of our offensive line. He was a first-year starter as a sophomore. Came from St. Benedict's High School in Cambridge. His improvement as a football player has been rapid. He's one of the leaders in the weight room. He's a big, heavy-set guy. The kind of guard that we like to have here, a big barrel-chested kid. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 pounds. I'm not sure what it is, but it'll be around there somewhere. And it takes a lot of pride to be able to run the football in the interior. Good pass blocker, and is emerging as one of our sort of young leaders on the team. Giovanni Aprile from Senator O'Connor College in Scarborough. I don't know that there's too much needs to be said about him. He has really developed into one of the premier players in our league. He's big, he's fast, he's athletic. He has the capacity to take over a football game with some of the things that he does. He, by far and away, made, there were some great catches in the ball game last week, but there was none better than the one that he made right in front of our bench. It inspired our entire team. So we're counting on him to continue to play at a high level and lead us with his play. And John, too, has also, is developing into a team leader. He got very vocal. McMaster, he's a kind of a quiet, reserved guy, but he got very vocal. McMaster, he's trying to inspire the others. I think he felt that, we could rally, and we did in a fashion. Didn't rally enough, but it was good to see everybody emotional and trying to get there. Even as the sand was running out of the hourglass, the guys were still giving her at the end, and he was taking the lead there. In fact, he was the second to last play of our last possession. He had defeated his guy in the end zone. Unfortunately, the ball didn't connect, but he had his guy fried, and that would have given us a last touchdown and probably presented a short kick situation at the end of the game. So he's had a great career here, and looking forward to the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games.
Thanks, Coach.